mind that.
I'm surprised EHOME's taking that long. They probably didn't. I didn't expect VP to first pick a Medusa. That's completely not VP. Doesn't seem VP to me at all.
Why do you think that they actually do go for it? Is it just based off the strength of the hero right now?
It adds a lot of just security for the game, you know? Like, in these big tournaments, usually games tend to go mid-late game, and Medusa is like the king there. Like, if it goes to the late game, you have this super tanky frontliner that you pretty much, you just pick a Medusa, 3 support heroes that help her with auras and spells, and then you pick like another semi-carry that just amplifies the damage later, and you're good to go.
Would you agree Medusa is basically maybe the best or at least most stable carry right now?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah,
and also mid lane. It's one of the only carries that can actually go mid lane and feel safe.
And I think based on that, this to me is also partly VP just asking the question, like, can you just first pick Medusa and win Dota? Let's find out. You know, this is our opening game. It's a best of 3. You know, we're one of the favorites. We want to understand, everyone knows Medusa's probably the best or most stable carry in Dota. Is it first pick worthy? Like, can you just pick this and get away with it? The answer is probably yes. Yeah.
At the minor, lots of teams did it. Lots of first phase bans, lots of first phase picks. Usually it won in the first phase.
Yep.
Because it's okay. Like, people pick AM to counter it, but AM is only like, he has a certain timing window. But if it goes really late game, he's not a counter anymore. You blink in, you get stone gazed, you feel terrible.
And he's got these weaknesses in the laning stage and early game that feel really bad too. So there's a lot of downside. It reminds me of like the old patch 7.19 where teams would just first 2-pick Terrorblade. It's like, well, here's a Terrorblade.
Yeah,
try
and
and beat it. Yeah, it's like, we don't care if you know we're picking Terrorblade here.
Yeah, EHOME is Jakiro and Titan. It's like the heroes they played the most on the support roles. I'm actually surprised they just get it for free like that, because they made it look really good.
Yeah. I mean, there's only so much you can ban. I mean, VP want to take out the Tiny. That was the most picked hero at the minor, I want to say.
Yeah, EHOME's Tiny was so good. He had every EHOME game that had a Tiny in it. I think the Tiny had at least 15 plus kills. Every game. Faith BM played it. ASD played it, their mid laner. It just looked impeccable every game. The Nature's Prophet. Probably position 5, I think.
Solo has played as 5.
Yeah. It's so good to secure the lane if you want to pick a hard carry for Ramses.
Well, you don't want a hard carry with Medusa, do you? I mean, you can.
Well, hard carry, I guess you just want to have like another semi.
Give him a good laner.
The entire lineup is open right now. Could be position 5 Sven, could be position 4, could be position 3. We don't know.
Sven with Nature's Prophet as a 3-4 in the offlane sounds pretty difficult.
It's also very strong,
Nature's Prophet already one of the hardest heroes to play against in lane, and then you've got this setup stun and Warcry to just dive people in.
Is it?
Oh. I mean, I'm a big fan of this hero. I love that Gambit, played it a lot.
Knows that, yeah.
I spam it a little bit too much, but it's coming back, I think, because tri-lanes are back in the meta a bit. And I think this is a hero when in a farming role in tri-lane can really have a good time.
Grimstroke.
So
that doesn't have the craziest synergy. There's like a lot of cute plays you can do, like a double Prophet or a double Storm Bolt, or even a double Snake could be devastating in the right scenario. Actually, double Snake sounds ridiculous. It burns like 100% mana. Does it work like that? With the talent? 55% of the mana pool times 2?
10 seconds remaining.
Holy crap, dude. There could be some next level dotes.
He's getting excited.
Yeah, I was like, all right. Don't ask me to do the math right now, but it sounds
too early in the morning. I haven't had my coffee, you know. Starladder, you guys out there? Is there coffee somewhere?
It's all about the mechanics, you know. Does the second Snake get the talent or not? That's the question that I'm asking. Which you obviously can't answer, because I can't either, and I played it here a lot.
Yeah. So what Grimstroke, I mean, definitely a support. Maybe more likely a 5 position.
Yeah, I think like this makes me believe it's gonna be Sven Grimstroke off lane, and the Prophet position 5 to just secure the safe lane. Okay. Because if you stun and you get the Ink Swell on top, you have another stun. There's a lot of damage potential, a lot of stun potential.
Pasha's a guy that likes to play the kind of stunning initiator type heroes for the team.
Just the tanky guys, yeah.
See that?
What's EHOME looking for here?
Well, they definitely need some sort of. It's actually OD. OD against Dusa is like. I feel like it's a fake counter. It's like good, but at the same time, it's not that good.
Yeah, being able to burn the mana pool a bit.
Yeah.
It's a hero that's not going to kill you quickly, so you can build up a lot of intelligence, soul and intelligence.
The lane is very difficult, though.
Yeah.
You get burned your mana so quickly.
It feels like they're kind of, rather than just going all in with any kind of hard counter for Medusa, it's like, you know, let's get a few heroes that can kind of soft deal with it. You know, Visage, Grave Chill, very annoying for Medusa. That lasts, what, 7.25 seconds or something? 7 seconds?
But right now, it's very scary for Team EHOME to go late game. I think none of these heroes can contest Medusa in a real late game. Like, even OD has very big problems if he doesn't get the jump in on first.
I mean, Visage is one of those heroes that peaks early and can end games fast, but I think you can scale quite well against Medusa. Yes. It can be very annoying to play against the Grave Chill, the Familiar Stuns, and just what this hero brings to the table late game. But with that said, VP still have another last pick for their core role, I imagine.
Yeah, it's going to be Ramses' hero.
Well, they banned Pug Knight. Maybe they're expecting Ramses to play Sven here. It's...
of course,
you know, it's very open.
Yeah, but of course, Sven against these heroes seems like so hard to play, actually. Like, you have Banish, you have Visage, you have Ice Path, you have Titan. Like, that's not a good position one to swing him. Darkseer. So there's a carry Visage.
Yeah, I think this is the only way you can play Visage.
But might be an aggro tri-lane even on the Visage.
Yeah, I think that's what I was saying, where it's come back because these tri-lanes are becoming more popular. I think Visage and dual lane just lost. Visage's big glaring weakness is he loses the lane stage and always has to play catch-up, and he's a hero that wants to snowball. And you can't snowball if you're playing catch-up, but tri-lanes for Visage give him a good start, and then he can do that snowball. That's how Gambit won so many games with it, leading up to the minor, and then even at the minor they played it a lot.
Then you're just going to send the Darkseer against the dual lane. Obviously, he's just going to do fine. Iron Chilling creeps.
Or if you get tri-lane versus tri-lane and Darkseer's a 1v1, you're happy because Darkseer's going to win and outfarm most heroes in a 1v1.
What are we looking for Ramses here? There is potential for like something that could face this Void. It's very slow though.
I think you don't want that faceless Void with a Medusa. I wouldn't.
I mean, if it gets mid late game, it's super strong, but getting there is the hard part. Well, what else does Ramses? Ramses might even play the Medusa, and they give no one another hero. It's possible too.
I think it's very. You don't want Medusa playing it into a tri lane though. That hero.
No, you definitely want to have it mid.
Oh, okay, you put Ramses mid and give no one that side lane hero. Yeah.
But like, it seems so hard, man. This tri lane is incredibly strong. I think you actually just want to avoid the tri lane. Like, you don't want to tri lane them. I think it's way too hard.
And just sacrifice some like Nature's Prophet or something against
something like that. I mean, Visage, Titan, Jakiro seems almost unbeatable. They have so much damage.
You can play this Sven as a one position get into that maybe.
They could.
Put Ramses on
possible. But Juggernaut.
Okay.
I mean, doesn't strike me as game winning or whatever. It's a good support here for the Dusa, of course.
It's one of the
strong
counters to Darkseer in lane, though. Maybe they, like you say, they want to avoid the tri-lane. Jug has always been one of the best heroes to play into Darkseer lanes because you've got the healing ward to sustain yourself against Iron Shell. You can just deny all his creeps.
Yeah, it's a good pick. Good with Dusa. The semi-carry we spoke about. Dusa never wants to be on her own.
Yeah.
But late game Dusa does not win you games. You need another hero that deals damage. Obviously, Juggernaut is that hero that we have been looking for. Their lineup looks really good. And EHOME's lineup looks a bit like they're on a timer.
Their tri-lane looks freaking scary, though.
It does. They have lots of potential. They're on a timer. You think they can beat them early? Because late game, they're not going to win.
I guess, yeah, they got the Darkseer. They're looking to get all their aura items fast, and they kind of play fast tempo, push things.
The only way they win late game is dominate early, get map control, make them stay in their base, outfarm them.
All right, we gotta do it outright. I know it's early. Haven't had our coffee yet. Still getting used to being here in China. Guys, you're gonna kick it off. First prediction of the tournament.
I'd feel like a bit of an idiot if I didn't predict VP to win the opening game as the returning major champions. I think their draft is in a decent place too. I think draft-wise, I think both teams have good win conditions, but VP for game one.
Black, I know you like to argue, but it seems pretty tough to go against this one.
Yeah, I think the draft is just, you know, too solid all around. And I think they're gonna win this game 1-2. Gods is always right after I'm always right. So he's the second person that's always right.
Okay, he's second in line in rightness. But now we have those predictions in. We're going to be ready to kick this off. We're going to have Kyle and Toby casting all of the action. I'm ready to get into this. I'm very excited for the first one of our major. And everybody, though, saying that we think that VP is going to be able to take it.
Yeah, on paper. Big
EHOME,
thumbs up
minor
for me.
champions. I'm in EHOME. I'd give a good thumbs up to as well. This is a team that I want to see more of, but you know, you're versing VP here.
Well, yeah, VP. The panel seems to be pretty heavily towards them. They're a quality team. I don't think anyone's ever going to say that VP is not a quality team. Up against EHOME, Kyle, we've just come from the minor. We've come from where EHOME is, and this draft is no surprise to us at all, apart from maybe the 5th pick.
Yeah, I don't think we saw the Darkseer last pick coming. They're kind of just doubling down on this strong team fight. I think OD is a lot more high DPS than people give it credit for, but they are lacking a bit of physical damage if this Visage doesn't have a great start. Inside of VP, though, I love the balls on him. Medusa Sven, first 2, just not messing around. Drafting that win condition for no one straight off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah, Medusa's been one of those big, strong heroes as well. It's something EHOME had a lot of experience against at the minor, where Gambit was running it almost non-stop. So they know how to play against this. Surprisingly enough, it comes from the same region. CIS teams still want to try and run with this Medusa. But the last pickup is like the question mark from both sides. So we had the Darkseer from EHOME, which is Faith Beyond. He'll have that in the off lane. But going up against the Juggernaut of Ramses.
Well, so, fun story. Ramses and Rezo have been really good friends for some time, and I have no idea why, but they both love playing Juggernaut, okay? They're both spamming it in pubs for the last couple of days, and their teams, from my understanding, think that hero is terrible. But for some reason, they're just, you know, it's fun, right? You get to spin TP out, you get to ult people, and you've got this great Arcana. I think it's really the Arcana. They use the same set.
It's just because you want to have the item set.
Yeah.
But at least at this game, like, there are some upsides. Like, he's a good laner against the Darkseer. The Healing Wall kind of undoes a lot of the damage that the Iron Shell does, and you can also cut through that individual creep quite quickly. So it doesn't seem like at least a bad matchup for Ramses.
I think you ideally like playing Jug against Darkseer, which is why they're last picking it, because you just go Healing Ward, you can spin every other creep wave, but what ends up happening is exactly what we see here, where the Darkseer just backlanes, and because the Elder Titan is a stronger support than the Grimstroke, you can't really prevent this either.
Yep. In fact, it actually becomes a little bit more aggressive into Grimstroke because ET just rotates over, uses that plus 39 damage, and punches through Roger with the Iron Shell damage. No, Fairy Fire will keep Roger alive. So we'll not be able to find that kill for Tianming underneath the tower, but it's not going to stop him from harassing.
Whereas down bottom, I really like this Furion core decision. Furion support is great, but there are a lot of teams, specifically Gambit, that's been utilizing it in the 3 position, and Russia as a region, or CIS rather, really prefer it as the 3. And you can see Pasha already looking to start bodying these 2 very weak int heroes, specifically Visage, who has less than 0 armor. And when you're playing against a Blightstone first Furion, you can't really do much.
Oh, Stormbolt's out. Visage slowed up, but that's why Grave Shield's there to give him that extra movement speed to get away. I know you were saying, Mark, we were kind of discussing a little bit during the draft as well, like with this lineup, like, oh my god, that's going to go again. Double Mango's up, and Jakiro takes the fall. Solo's going to Warcry up. They have extra control. They do, thanks to the help of Roger. And ET, iffy about if he wants to fight or not. Virtus.pro, 3 players on bottom lane. I was going to say, you were mentioning the VP has to win the laning phase.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this is a good decision to rotate Roger down to get that first blood, but I'm not certain you want to tri-lane against the Visage.
Yeah, this may be a little bit more problematic. The Breeze fires out, and damn, that ET. Or tri-lane against the ET even. And his Spirit comes out to get the kill over on Grimstroke. But ET hits real hard.
This is cool that you leave the Jug up top against the Darkseer. So they're just going to trade farm back and forth. This was something we used to see back in the Darkseer first pick era when ROTK was still a player, not a coach. And you would just trade. And then the off lane in the other lane is just this, what's the word for it? The Thunderdome, a Coliseum, just constant bloodshed. And I expect we'll see both teams put a lot of emphasis on battling down here in the bottom lane. Mid, OD versus Dusa. OD's arguably the hard counter to Dusa, not in the laning phase, but just throughout the game, because you're stealing his mana through his intelligence as you hit him with that orb. And later on in the game, I think that ASD is going to be able to win this game for his team if he has a good start. And so far, so good.
Yeah, so far it's pretty nice. Like Juggernaut as well as Darkseer are doing their own trade-off. FP on this time around, because they're tri-laned on bottom, VP, he's able to do the creep skipping as normal. So Ramsey has no other choice but to spin down lanes. Yep. This is not the ideal situation, and with the tri-lane, Pasha's not getting early levels either. Like he's having to lead, like he's got 2 leeches, Roger and Solo inside the lane. So this Nature's Prophet isn't the global presence I was expecting him to be very early on. But it still is tri-lane versus tri-lane.
I don't mind this, though, because Visage kind of controls the tempo of the EHOME lineup. We were saying in the draft, there's no real physical damage output save for this hero, and the longer it takes him to get birds, the longer it takes EHOME to actually apply any real pressure onto objectives.
My God, they're just trying to really beat into the ET. The double stuns keep them controlled up really nicely, but they need a little bit more follow-up damage. ET has to put out another spirit, lost that high movement speed, but the Treants blocking him up from Pasha. Roger, however, he's in a little bit of trouble, going to burn to the breathe fire. The dual breath, I mean, of Innocence. And Visage, okay.
He's dead.
Again, yeah, cannot back out.
Yep.
Blightstone on a Nature's Prophet, you're losing your armor, he's lost his shields, and that's 3 heroes going down for the price of 1.
I really don't like his decision to go for this double null starting item. This is a far bigger mistake than I think people realize, because when you're at less than 0 armor, like, you're just taking too much damage. He needs a Bassi ASAP, especially considering they're in a tri-lane.
Yep. And it's not an unusual build from the Nature's Prophet. Every Prophet we've been seeing goes this early Blightstone against the low armor heroes that try and contest them.
Whoa.
Goodbye top lane as Faith Beyond gets a solo kill on Juggernaut. Pasha on bottom lane begins his TP out. Cannot get it in time. The punch is able to arrive from Tianming. But this happens around the 5-minute bounty room time. So VP will claim both the ones on bottom, and Faith Beyond will have to leave the top lane to claim both the ones on top.
That's sick timing, though, because now he runs back, he grabs the runes, he's going to Shrine, and then he buys whatever item he wants. I think he's just rushing Vanguard. And also a cool thing, we don't see this very often. This is the first time I've seen the double shield on Darkseer, but it allows him to farm a lot more offensively and backlane while jungling, because you have that 75% chance to block, not 50.
Pasha gets the run away on bottom lane. ET, again, trying to be that initiator, combining with the slow from Ego, but now Tianming's the one who's in trouble, puts the spirit down. Doesn't have anything else to really work with. His teammates can't help him out because they can't get through the war cry. The solo is able to provide this aggressive lane of Virtus.pro, so they just keep going in deeper. The Stormbolt over on Visage keeps him controlled. A little bit of targeting as Innocence may have some time to get back around the edge of the tree. That Chikuro is very, very tanky, and he's got the dual breath off cooldown in just a second, and they're keeping eyes on Pasha, who gets a fantastic sprout block. It still won't stop the ET. The run is on. It's 347 movement speed, so it's only 10.
Oh, look at the jungle,
advantage.
though. The Deuce is in trouble.
Wow, really? Prophecy being over, trying to help out, but
Faith Beyond, man.
he is rocking this lane.
That is, he skills the wall for the extra damage, and he gets that Medusa illusion. Level 1 wall, you know, you don't see it very often to be actually useful, but it's 70% replica damage. So, you know, it's like 2/3 of the guy you're trying to kill. It's not bad.
Yep.
Faith Beyond is rocking it right now.
You want to see how far he's rocking it? It's not just in the CS on the board. You can look at the net worth. He's going to crack 4,000 net worth. He's 1,000 above that of Ramses, who very rarely is ever out-farmed.
Not that, just that, but he has Arcanes and Vanguard. I actually don't know how the side of VP deals with this Darkseer when you have this good of a start. They don't have any real raw damage output. It's right clicks, and they're going to tickle him.
And it seems to be the bread and butter of this current meta, where you're able to get the sustain, you get all the auras up from the Darkseer. This will allow the OD to survive, and the longer these fights draw out, the stronger OD is going to become.
Yep. Yeah, so far, looking good for EHOME. I think that there are a lot of people, Toby, who thought this was going to be a 2-0 stomp. Like, why aren't we casting the other group? I explained that this was going to be a great series, and what do you know, Tobes?
It's Kyle just throwing around his wang already. Come on, dude. Pasha's backing out. Stomp comes in. There's no follow-up. You give me that kind of look.
Trying to rewrite history on me. It's fine. Selling me that fake news.
Hey, I at least always believe in any team that has a Korean inside of it after the MVP lesson I received. Bottom lane Storm bolts out. They're chasing after Visage. He's got a lot of one charges available, however. The ET Stomp keeps the Sven in position, but man, that Ice Path came in very late from Innocence. And they're still running try versus try. ET hits real hard, 114 bonus damage, but they try and cut him out. Dutsa dies again. This time it's going to be to ASD. That's 2 deaths for no one. He cannot get room to farm it. He cannot have a lane to work with, and EHOME are already tipping him.
This is the issue when you run these tri-lanes. Like, it's great if you can win your solos, and traditionally it was always seemed better to go aggro try because your safe lane solo will have an advantage. But when it's a Jug versus Darkseer, that really just isn't the case. And when you're losing mid as well, you're in a bit of trouble when you consider VP's lineup is kind of predicated on getting ahead early and taking these tier 1s. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. This game continues.
They're chasing after Roger. Solo. Stormbolt able to catch out too. He actually put down a sentry wall because he knew there was some level of vision. EHOME were playing too coordinated to not have any information, but the sentry is just out of range of the observer in lane.
That was unfortunate. No stacks up for no one at the moment either. He's going this
They just did one
build.
stack of Ancients, that's all. It looks like Pasha's trying to play catch up as well. He's gone into the jungle.
Yep. This is very much VP playing from behind. They've had to abandon the off lane, but nope, here he comes with a big smoke. And this is the advantage of having a Jug in the top lane, though. He is level 9, almost 10. This Visage, still just 5. This is a sure kill if they land this stun.
They were just out of range of the Observer Ward 2 with the TP in
out
and the smoke, but Visage a little bit further off to the side. Jakiro, Ice passed out, but that's why Juggernaut has spin. Immunity is able to let him just move through this, and ET with a stop. He gets to sleep over on this Ven, who has a Storm Bolt in 2 seconds time with the stick charges, but it's Roger and the support from EHOME that's all rotated in, including Faith Beyond. Omnislash should be completely tanked up because he's already got a full Crimson Guard. Ramsey's knows just no damage. Solar can create so much space, however, but 5 heroes move forward, and damn with the surge, they cannot escape the OD. In banishment up in the Darkseer wall, Ramses will fall, and EHOME all hold hands together to unwrap VP around the maypole.
Now this is Wings Faith Beyond we're talking about. Like, this is a hell of a performance, and exactly, I mean, not what you would expect, but a Darkseer that gets this good of a start against heroes like Medusa and Jug.
I'm liking the new record. 6.5-ish minutes to get that full Crimson Guard up.
Yep, this is the dream for a Darkseer, and I mean, they last picked it, right? It looked weird, but if you can guarantee, if you know that your player's capable of performance like this, you know, Darkseer are one of the harder heroes to master because some games you're going to play like this where you're so far ahead, but how do you utilize that advantage? What items do you buy? And then there's some games you're just totally screwed.
Look at Faith Beyond. It's like, okay, well, I can back, I can get through. Pasha is able to finish his TP out. No plus 90 damage, or else he probably would have had that kill. Bottom lane, Roger, he's able to get himself a little bit further away thanks to the stun from the Inkswell.
It's going to be important EHOME continues to maintain their tempo, though. They have Visage Jakiro. These heroes are no slouches when it comes to taking objectives, but they need to try and make that happen. And it's tough when you consider how much wave clear and global map pressure just having a Furion on your team will do. So it's going to be important they keep doing what they are doing. Darkseer shoving top at all times, the Visage in the bottom lane. Look for that opening.
Oh, more fun for Solo. Innocence will be able to connect on the ice path. Support's coming over from the OD. That's why Warcry's Ven gets his distance.
Oh, that's a Midas OD, Toby.
That is a, really? We're going old school.
That's a fast Midas too, though. I mean, what did he get that out of? Like, it's been on cooldown for a while, so it's about a 10-minute Midas. That is not bad, especially when you consider that you're really just dealing with Medusa, who, at this point, you gotta assume is looking to win the game on a BKB timing, second, third item, because otherwise, this OD, you're this far behind already. This is gonna be rough.
Yeah. And they're going to need to find so many ways for VP just to change the tempo of this game. And obviously, it isn't just bring everyone to a lane and try and fight, because EHOME are very happy to do that, and they're already too tanky to do it. Like, VP can't win it because Darkseer will always be stronger. Now they look towards the mid. ET Stomp, well out of position for Solo. But a level 4 Sven trying to stop this kind of attack, while on bottom lane, Pasha cannot escape either. Just run down so many slows that EHOME have in combination together.
Man, I was talking about that offlane Prophet. I neglected to comment on, this is a hard Prophet game. I used to see PPD used to just pick Jakiro immediately into Prophets. Not only do you have that, but there's a Visage, an Elder Titan, like the Darkseer. So much catch for you, and who do you actually threaten as a Prophet? Like, who's weak enough for you to bully at this point?
Yeah, there's no one. Like, you're not getting through either of these supports.
Faith Beyond's at 70k net worth, man.
Yeah.
He's going to have a mech in 200 gold.
Yeah. I was actually considering asking you the question, like, why don't we see that mech or Greaves OD build in from the OD? But there's like, he can't keep up with the pace the Darkseer is doing. So Pasha is the only thing he can do.
Yep.
Split, push the crap out this map. Never let EHOME be able to take a fight without having to trade something for it.
And bear in mind, like, VP's behind, but this is one of the best teams in the world. They're not out of this, but they're going to need a lot of time. Jug, Dusa, you look at their itemization. You know, we know how long Dusa takes to come online, but a Jug, he's going Battle Fury, and he's still the full Demon Edge away almost. This is not really a team that's capable of battling at all. and they're going to need at least 10 minutes to get things going. EHOME, you got to look to take a tower or two, maybe a Roche in that time.
You can't give the OD 10 minutes. Like, he will be unkillable in the upcoming fights. Like, he's already going for the Yashikaya.
Yeah.
And if he wants to build a BKB of his own, they have nothing that's able to penetrate this. The physical damage of the Juggernaut is nowhere near scary enough. A VP will try and find underneath their own Observer Ward, so they come in close. The Silence already over on the ET. Look at the TP support already coming in. This is 4 heroes from Virtus.pro. The Sprout made it very difficult to continue to move up the hill, and defensive imprisonment underneath the shrine. The ET will survive through all of this, and the Darkseer wall will fall. ET, oh, let the splitter go. Virtus.pro are in full retreat as EHOME moves forward. Looking for one target. They've got a sleeping Sven inside the river. The Sprout from Parch tries to create more space. Ice Path will be off target. And Virtus.pro should be so happy they get away with what they've got, because Dusa with a double damage rune took the mid-tier 1 tower in the meantime. But he did overstay his welcome a little bit longer. And now no one has to Stone Gaze. He's out of mana. Is there a stun? There's nothing.
There's a bit of a misplay by ASD there. If he just attacks twice, forces the Stone Gaze, then Astrals, that's a for sure kill. But he got a little greedy and was like just, you know, grabs the W right away, but then it's just a Stone Gaze TP, no problem. And as you said, though, good for VP. They can't really win an engagement. They just want to force EHOME to follow them around the map.
They just got 4 bounty runes as well.
Yep.
Like, that's, they may lose, they just profit for it. Pasha, OD imprisonment, there's just a simple ET spirit into stop.
No ult on Medusa,
at the same time around the shrine, you can have an extra battle. The stun out from Solo. Omnisage kicking through on top of the familiars only really now. They have to drop to the ground, but it's all on cooldown. They just drop the Eclipse. 2 heroes there for Virtus.pro. No one's practically out of mana, so they banish up one, and then the jump around the tree lines. They want no one, but they also want Ramses, and they'll claim both cores. The Ice Path makes the impenetrable wall. A double kill for ASD. And Virtus.pro are being run over by EHOME.
Oh yeah, and this OD, man, this is such a selfish, greedy build. But if you get away with it, this is the most terrifying mid-hero in Dota 2 at the moment. You get Kaya Yasha right into BKB, and all of a sudden, there is not a single thing anyone on VP can do other than run in terror.
And they're going again. Solo has to retreat away. This is not how Virtus.pro wanted to start. A month ago, they battled against LGD and lost 2-0, and the last game was not a slow one. 16 minutes is how long their last game of professional Dota 2 took a month ago. And we're all wondering, how is VP going to do? Like, they just brush off the icicles and be really hot and fired up. So far in game 1, it looks like EHOME, they're all warmed up after the minor.
Yep. I mean, it's kind of weird, right, when you consider VP top seed coming into this tournament against EHOME, who are theoretically the bottom seed as the minor winners. But don't you feel like that gives you an advantage? 15, 20 games, you win the tournament, then you come, you're definitely warm.
And such great play from EHOME. They could see Roger trying to creep skip, and again, something they're not unfamiliar with. This was happening so much during the minor, and they preemptively TP before he even attacked the creep wave.
I like what ASD did. He chose to go for a Blink Dagger instead of finishing that Yasha right away. I think this is a great move because you're already so ahead. You just want to ensure that you can hunt VP and find kills, and this is an item that allows you to do just that. And I don't know if you look at Pasha, he's got almost a pipe and a Vlad's finished, but man, what does a pipe do against a hero like OD? That's the problem.
That's a very good question. You kind of almost wish he could just go into full split push, go the old school build with like Blink Dagger and Maelstroms and just push out the side lanes, but goodbye to the tier 1 tower. At least I'll get that. Should flag to VP that EHOME were on the hunt.
Battle Fury finished on Ramses, so he's starting to accelerate. Still, you know, the Visage, luckily for VP, is not having the greatest time. He's going to push this top tier 2, probably look to take it. I want EHOME to go for a Roche and then look to not end game, but certainly take an engagement. You don't want to let VP get time to get those next core items up.
Yep. Well, the top tier 2 tower is being brought down now. The Siege creep dominated up, so EHOME have all the pushing power in the world. This will mean if they do breach up high ground, either in the mid lane or the top lane, they can just rotate and take 2 full lanes of racks against Virtus.pro. So that Aegis model you were mentioning, that's the enabler.
They're going to have Greaves and Urn coming out on the Courier. Ready to go. I mean, poor Solo, only just hitting level 7, 18 minutes into the game. And this is one of those scenarios. Nice deny.
Oh, wow. They actually let him get away with that. It's the good vision from Virtus.pro that allows Solo to know he can do this. 2 Observer wards up.
This is something you rarely see non-top teams do. Nice carrier snipe, but...
Yep, ET stomp. He'll lose his life for it. ET splitters out as well, Nature's Prophet. Pasha has no way to escape this, and with him down for 30 seconds, you know where EHOME want to go next. It's into Roshan. It's to claim the Aegis.
So it's like a good courier kill, but as you said, like you're just giving away this free Roshan. You're going to look to maybe make a play down bottom on Jakiro, and you can see Ramses doing just that. Not going to be in time, however. Good job by Y there to clear that creep wave. Yeah, like, there's something I love to see. You'll see Liquid do this a lot as well, Secret too. Very few teams are comfortable warding their own jungles when behind. And the top teams always do, and it's something I would really like to see. I'll use like Alliance as an example, who traditionally are always placing vision aggressively. You can look at all of these wards just kind of serve to not gain map control necessarily, but just to ensure that they're safe farming where EHOME isn't.
They actually try and Faith Beyond, try and chase down Pasha. TPs are coming over. It's the form of the OD, and with Blink forward, fantastic sprout, but Vac is even better from Faith Beyond, pulling back Pasha. Another 30 seconds without Nature's Prophet.
Yep. Does buy them the 2 runes though. Up top, you're gonna have
Tianming.
Tianming is gonna take the top 2 bounties, so 2 for 2.
Yeah. For anyone who kind of questions that, like his name when translated means destiny, but everywhere he's been saying like, call me Tianming. So we go with that. OD,
oh, nice.
Wow. Spin and then TP out.
Yeah, I was just about to make the point that the one cool thing about Jug in this game is that if you spin TP, there is absolutely no cancel, nothing you can do about it. I like that play there from ASD. He had so much intelligence that would have at the very least oomed Ramses for the spin teleport and found the kill, but alas, just a maybe 1/10 of a second too late.
Yeah, but it's confidence to go for it. I cannot believe how much money VP is expending on sentries. They're all across their side, like 5 sentries, 6 sentries currently down. They just don't have the money to keep it, like, keep supports up. This is why you actually see like Solo. Yeah, he's level 8. 2.5k net worth.
But bear in mind, it's 16-5. We're talking about how much EHOME's dominating. They just hit a 2k gold lead. This is the push they're going to need to execute on to win this game. Because really, if they don't get a Rax here, who knows what will happen.
Well, they're already jumping in. OD's looking for his target. It's going to be the Sven with the Grave Shield slow down. The Darkseer wall not going to be as effective as Faith Beyond probably wanted to be, but it may be when Medusa TP's right on top of it, turns the Stone Gaze, trying to force EHOME to retreat, while ASD is isolated by himself. That's why he imprisons, looking for his blink away to safety. No, he's actually being stunned up and controlled. EHOME, how hard have you over-pushed this one right now? No one has kept everyone else from EHOME occupied. While you will be able to find that kill into ASD, no, underneath the fountain, he's still surviving. Tier 4
so
towers. EHOME are going so deep, they don't care where the lines are drawn. No one is totally out of mana. ASD, the Aegis one, will finally pop. But so does the Medusa. Buyback to Bubble, and she'll have to expend it. And they look for more into the engagement. Start stealing all this intelligence once again for ASD. Get rid of the silence. They finally broke through the tier 3 tower, but VP, they want to catch anyone else from EHOME retreating. Faith Beyond still want to be caught out. They have the tree cut out so the path is clear to retreat. But EHOME, they're not done yet. They look to still turn, potentially.
Yeah, really, and you can see there the strength of the OD. They actually just cannot deal with this hero, and he eventually goes down. That Aegis respawn, but so much damage. Imagine if he had ult there. At a point, I think he had over 50 or 60 intelligence stacks. Yep. You would have immediately killed, at the very least, Solo and Ramses.
That's when using it on that one kill in Ramses doesn't pay off, but...
And this, real quick, this is a really good decision from no one. He had Scotty queued up for the last 15 minutes. I think that would have been a game-losing purchase. Instead, he's going to switch to the Manta into BKB.
He just went back to Scotty.
You need the BKB. I don't know if you're able to take an engagement into an OD BKB if you don't have one on the Medusa, because he's just going to get blinked on, and that's it. There's no peel, there's no save, and no one's going to be in some serious trouble with no buyback.
And I'm really starting to question EHOME's ability to finish this game. Yes, OD is totally, like, very, very powerful, but they're diving in so hard looking for these kills, and Virtus.pro's positioning, they're making them work for it.
For sure.
EHOME are getting nothing easily. Their side lanes are still being pressured out. So Virtus.pro, like, you mentioned it, like when they went up high ground, there's a 2K gold advantage for EHOME. When they've taken so many more towers, they've taken more kills all across the board, this money is still coming in for Virtus.pro. Like, EHOME should even have a bigger advantage because they got that massive early minus. Goodbye, Pasha. He'll die once again, but it's all for the greater good. But then EHOME look for their own kill. Ramses, he spins so quickly. He saw Faith Beyond come out of smoke, and that's why he's worried about it.
I was thinking ASD. If they had the Visage, I think he just blinks in BKBs, but a little hesitant as they are still 4-on-5. But look at this. You say the gold advantage was 3K, now it's 5, and look at the map control all of a sudden EHOME have acquired. You know, they're going to get this bottom shrine. They're pushing 2 waves. And the OD, BKB active, there's no counterplay to this hero on the side of VP. You've got to be really afraid and just look to outplay. Make EHOME overextend or avoid them and get more items so you actually can, like, threaten him. But even then, like, I don't know, man. He can get offensive solar crested and blink in surged. What do you do?
Yeah. You just try and split push it. Prophet's already moved up towards the top lane, but look who's gone too. OD under the cover of smoke. Looking for that kill on Nature's Prophet, jumping over towards Pasha. 2, 3, he needs to cut through the tree lines. No force start to do it. Pasha, he can't actually TP out. It was on cooldown, his teleport. Both the scroll as well as the ability. So he'll come back out, kind of half trapped up. Ramses will do his own spin TB, and Pasha just has to get the hell out of there. But OT, enough is enough. Drops the Eclipse.
I don't agree with that decision from ASD. I feel like, yes, it's cool, it's flashy, you did get the kill. Maybe, you know, it's only a 50% chance if you don't, but now you have no hammer for over 2 minutes, and this is the timing where that BKB is super effective. It's fine. I mean, hey, you're going to get another shrine. It's fine. If you're planning on waiting for second Roche anyway, it's not a big deal. You got 1 minute 40 on a possible respawn, so if you're EHOME, you're probably just going to chill, accept this lead, all of a sudden 8K gold, get that next stages, and then look to go win the game.
Yeah, and keep hunting other fights in the meantime. Roger is the one who's being a good target, but 4-staff up will be able to TP himself away. Faith Beyond already used the vac. Also see his items. And having Lotus, Greaves, Crimson, Faith Beyond's got 33 armor.
Yep.
I don't know how you kill him.
Yep. That's a Visage as well, you know? He's got a Halberd, a Solar Crest, 2,200 HP. We already discussed how unkillable OD is at this point. Yep. And the entire side of VP is looking at, you know, it's Dusa and Juggle.
It's damage issues galore.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, all 3 of their cores are physical damage that require, like, you know, lots of little hits. And when you have a Crimson and everyone's this tanky, I don't even know how you burn through Visage armor.
Yep. But I do like your idea, like, of VP's ability to delay this game. Like, Pasha through the split push, but it's the counter push when you try and go high ground. Like, Grimstroke can just easily just use his Stroke of Fate. You've got Medusa with split shot as well as Snake. Your Juggernaut can even spin it. You've got Sven who has his own clearance as well. So EHOME keeping a creep wave alive as they go high ground is very difficult, which is probably why they were just hunting the kills previously, just like they're doing now against no one. Familiar drops, but the TPs can't come fast enough.
Just wait. There's an Orchid finished on the OD. He is just going for the full raw damage right-click build. Was expecting a Shiva's.
Nice stun over on the ET. OD just jumps in, triggers off his BKB, looking for the kill on the Juggernaut, able to find it, 75 seconds on the sideline, but then the Familiars, they're right on the money, onto Roger. Ego's positioning is just way too good. They'll move over towards Solo, and then the stuns. Solo, he'll at least get his own Stormbolt off and be able to back away to safety, but the Ice Path and the Darkseer Wall, what a great position. Stonegaze is onto ASD, but the mana is all burnt out. This really is the game. GG, well played. EHOME have just romped over Virtus.pro. Not even half an hour to get Game 1 victory.
Just near flawless execution from EHOME. I don't think VP played bad. They lost their solos, sure. Faith Beyond with an incredible performance. That was really just EHOME styling. And I think that we're going to expect to see OD ban for sure. Especially, I can't believe they didn't when you consider they first 2 Dusa.
You've got the OD, you've got other issues, you've got, like, everything which we saw in the mind that Virtus.pro obviously has not learned that EHOME is really good at. Cannot wait to see how they approach Game 2 if they can repair a lot of that damage in the draft. In the meantime, best of luck to them. We'll be back after the break.